Good morning and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Pulpit. As you know, the last few weeks we've been talking about the miracles of Jesus. And the one last week where he healed Peter's mother-in-law of a fever instantly. And then we find today that he is teaching on healing a leper. In Matthew 8, verse 1 through 4, and Mark 1, verse 40, 45, and in Luke 5, 12 through 16, have an account of all those of the same healing. And the leprosy was a terrible, terrible disease. It was painful. It was isolating. It was spiritually devastating. Lepers were forced to live outside of the community, and when anyone come up close to them, they had to shout for themselves that they were unclean, so others could avoid them. It was very devastating. Luke 5, verse 12 records this, "And it happened when he was in a certain city that, behold, a man who was full of leprosy saw Jesus, and he fell on his face and implored him, saying, 'Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean.'" The guy doesn't doubt. The leper does not doubt that Jesus' power. He just doubts if Jesus is willing or not, because all his life, or as long as he had had leprosy, he had been put down by others. And Mark tells us in 1 verse 40, he says this, "Now a leper came to him, imploring him, kneeling down to him and saying to him, 'If you are willing, you can make me clean.'" So they all give the same account. This is humility, this is faith, and this is desperation, all combined from the leper. He breaks every social rule because he knows Jesus is his only hope. And Jesus compassionately responds. Jesus responds in a way that no one expected. He said, "Then Jesus, moved with compassion, stretched out his hand and touched him, and said to him, 'I am willing, be cleansed.'" Three powerful truths here. Jesus was moved with compassion. He cares deeply. And when we truly, earnestly ask him, and he knows that we're coming from a feeling of love because we love him so much, he will respond. He cares deeply. And Jesus touched him, something nobody had done in years. Jesus was willing to reach out and touch the leper. No one had touched him in years, and Jesus did. And he will touch us the same. Jesus assured him, "I am willing." In other words, Jesus didn't hesitate. He reached out, touched him, and he says, "I am willing, be cleansed." And then it happened immediately. The healing happened instantly. And as soon as he had spoken, immediately the leprosy left him and he was cleansed. There was no recovery time, no gradual improvement, and he was completely transformed by the word of Jesus, just like Peter's mother-in-law was last week when she had the high fever. Jesus touched her and prayed, and she got up and went about her business. So Jesus' healing does not require you to stay in bed and gradually get better. He heals you completely. And then Jesus' instructions was this. Jesus then gives a command. He said, "And Jesus said to him, 'See that you tell no one, but go on your way. Show yourself to the priest and offer the gift that Moses commanded as a testimony to them.'" Back then, if you were cleansed of, or you no longer had leprosy, you had to go to a priest and he had to pronounce you as being cleansed. Restoration meant he could go back to worship. Obedience to God's word and a testimony that the Messiah had come. All this happened whenever he was restored back to health. What's our final lesson here? Well, no one is too broken for Jesus to heal. Absolutely no one. And Jesus is willing to meet the deepest needs of the heart. And Jesus touches the untouchable. The leper came to Jesus with faith, and Jesus responded with compassion and power. Take your problems to Jesus and have the faith that he will and can heal you or sustain you. Hope you've enjoyed this today. As we're approaching the holidays coming soon, and just hope you have a great holiday time. And come and be with our church, as we always love you here at Bloomingdale Baptist Church, and we love to see you in our services. Have a great day.